Right. Hi, Arthur. Thank you very much for taking your time today to speak to us about Disney's Holiday.
But before we get into any of that,
So
make
this
sure you
one's
do
gonna
hit
be
that
coming
subscribe
out
button to keep up
on
with the
December
latest
the
Disney
3rd on
Plus
the Disney
news.
Channel, and also be available on Disney Plus. Could you just give us a bit of an outline of what this one's about this year?
Yeah, it's really this incredible kind of all night long scavenger hunt through Walt Disney World. And it's this kind of story driven adventure where these two teams of stars compete through incredible lands and IP and are the only guests inside Walt Disney World to have this kind of once in a lifetime experience.
Yeah, cool. And how did the idea of this show come about?
Well, funny enough, this is something I think a lot of people have dreamed of their whole life. Like kids have always imagined, what if I was the only one here in Walt Disney World and everything I could do? And I think I was certainly one of those kids that had that same dream. And it was something that I'd always kind of, really loved the concept of, and we kind of shared it with our friends at Disney, and they really loved it. Obviously, it's very challenging. There's so many pieces and parts that go into something like this, but it was something that we were really passionate about for a long time, and have been such huge, devoted fans of Disney and its franchises that we were passionate enough to bring it to life and share it with Disney.
So, what's it actually like being in the parks at night when there's nobody around?
I mean, it is really incredible and magical. That place is really just kind of alive 24/7. Obviously there's an incredible amount of work that goes on behind the scenes every night that guests don't realize, that they really just kind of do an incredible job preparing the park for the next day. But it's really kind of, really like awe-inspiring and very kind of mesmerizing. You're almost in this dream like state. Everywhere you turn is kind of all the beauty and the grandeur of the park, but you're the only one there. Just the idea of being given the permission to play in the park and kind of make this up, was also kind of a dream come true.
And so how long did it take to make the actual show? Was it done in one night, or was it done over a couple of nights?
Yeah, I mean, let's skipping the many months of prep and approval with Pixar and Lucas and Parks and everybody. I think the actual show, I would say 4 nights of kind of real production that would happen.
Yeah, that's cool. And there's like really like pretty much in the middle of the night. Then I'm gathering at that point.
It is. It's pretty much the middle of the night because, first and foremost, Parks is always very conscious of the guest experience. And we're somewhat beholden to whatever when guests leave the park, right? So it's kind of like we're eager to go and we have this huge production, all these people. But if guests are still enjoying their dessert, we have to kind of wait to start the production. So typically, it would happen, I'd say, about 11 p.m. to about 8 a.m. every night.
Oh, crikey. And was there anything you couldn't do in the park while you were filming?
Well, I mean, look, I think that there's a lot of incredible things they allow us to do that typically guests are not allowed to do, everything from running to being inside the attractions, and again, adding big apparatus and challenges to these attractions. But for the most part, we were given a lot of freedom with a lot of safety review and Disney Imagineering review to kind of do whatever we wanted to. Now, I think obviously we could never do anything that would encourage a guest to do something unsafe. But barring that, we had a lot of freedom to try a lot of things.
And what sort of different from last year's episode?
Well, it's a whole new land, whole new characters, whole new villains. Also this year we have heroes that help our teams. So, and obviously being able to step into Disney's Hollywood Studios is a whole different experience because we really got to play in some incredible IP. That including Star Wars and Toy Story, which was just incredible.
Yeah, I can't wait to see Galaxy's Edge when we finally head back out there next year. Are there any plans like in the future to kind of go to some of the other parks, like Epcot or Animal Kingdom, or maybe even some of the international theme parks?
Yeah, I mean, look, I think it depends how much people love this one, but yeah, there's a lot. I think that everyone is really happy with the way this episode turned out, this special turned out, and inclusive of Pixar and Lucas and Disney Parks and Disney Channel. So I think when that happens, it's a really good sign, and hopefully the fans also like it. Yeah, we would love to keep going. There's so many adventures, and it's really the most incredible playground possible. So if we do everything right, we would love to kind of, keep going, everywhere and anywhere.
Yeah, and I'm going to ask, with the series also being released, also the special being released on Disney Plus, does that play into the viewership numbers and stuff?
Sure. I think that just gives the show longevity and makes it a bit more evergreen. I think obviously Disney Channel has a huge loyal following, but in this situation on Disney Plus, we get a much larger general audience. And I've heard the good fortune that, last year's show, a friend of mine's daughter literally plays it every day. So it gives kind of viewers that opportunity to keep it alive and fresh.
Yeah, I did watch it again this morning. I remember watching it last year. It's like, well, I will watch it again. And there's that kind of thing of, is it the same kind of thing like with face masks and stuff, or is it a little bit less restricted this year?
No. So this year, fortunately, we obviously had to abide by every possible, COVID compliance rule, both for the parks as well as Disney Channel and SAG and AFTRA and all of those things. But there's no masks. We were able to avoid masks on our talent. We still had, the same guest experience that people would in terms of not being direct contact with some of the characters, but nowhere we were able to go maskless in our because we had this kind of controlled closed set.
That's cool. And sort of finally, what sort of attraction would you like to do, without any guests, or more importantly, not having a queue at the Disney parks?
Look, I mean, I think we had this. Rise of the Resistance is an unbelievable life experience. It's an 18-minute attraction that I think is probably the most immersive attraction in the world. And we were fortunate enough to be able to integrate that attraction into this show. So that was pretty amazing. I think, it'd be hard to top that, but there's certainly a lot of attractions that we can add a special twist to.
Yeah, I must be honest, that's the one I'm really looking forward to when I head out to Disneyland next year. But again, just wanted to say a big thank you for taking your time out today. You can watch the Disney Holiday Magic Quest on the Disney Channel on December the 3rd, and then it will also be available on Disney Plus. And again, just thank you very much for taking your time out to speak to me today.
Definitely, Roger. Thanks for the interest. And I hope everybody loves the show.
Cheers. Thank you very much. I'd like to thank all of our Patreon and YouTube channel members for their support. You can become a member from as little as $2 a month, and you get access to our weekly Q&A and much more.